Hey guys, welcome back. So let's make some clothes for him in Marvelous Designer. So the first thing we need to do is export the body. We only need the body and we need to make sure we export it with enough subdivisions. So if we don't export with enough subdivisions, you will be able to see the facets through the clothes, right? So you'll see them in the clothing. So we want to get rid of those. So let's just subdivide it a couple times. So let's subdivide once and we can give it 2 subdivisions. If that's too heavy for your computer, just leave it at 1 subdivision. That should be fine. And looking at it now, I think that should be fine for us too. So then we'll go to cache, Alembic cache, export selection to Alembic. Make sure we're on the current frame. Scroll down. I always have UV right is on, and then we will give it a name. So this is char underscore body underscore export, like that, and let it check. Yep, current frame, export. Now, before we import, I want to talk about scale. So when I build this character, I don't know if you guys remember to the first video, we set up a scale for him. And if I make a cube and kind of scale it up, he is like 100, let's see, it should be like 18 units, right? Something about there. So 18 units, it's like 180 centimeters. We're working decimeters. That means every unit in Maya is 10 centimeters. So that means he is 1/10 real scale. So when we bring this character into Marvelous, we need to adjust for that because Marvelous works in centimeter scale. So let's open up Marvelous and import the file, import Alembic, and then we'll navigate to our project and we'll go to cache, Alembic, and import our Alembic. It's going to give us some options here. So we're going to make sure we are in centimeters. And then for our scale, we need to scale up to 1,000%, right? We need to, because if we don't, we are in decimeter scale, so your character is going to be really tiny. So we need to adjust for that. So centimeter scale, 1,000%, and click OK. And you know it worked because if you look at the grid here, your character should be about the same size as the grid in Maya. And that kind of seems to work. All right, so let's start. The first thing we need to do is make the pants because the pants will go under the shirt. So let's make the pants. The shape for the pants is kind of complicated. If you look at patterns online, you should be able to find some. Just search for sewing patterns of pants. And we will start with a rectangle. And the way the pant patterns work is you have a seam here for the crotch. Then you have the belt and then the pants go on the side. So let's make the front. So let's click here like that and like this. So we're using the polygon tool. And then we'll go down and just, you can hold shift and then just kind of do this. There. So that's the shape for the pants. We just need to adjust them now. Now, here's the thing. Right now, this is white and our avatar is white. The character inside of Marvel is called an avatar and our fabric is white. So I can actually take this fabric here and I can name it. So I'll call this pants like that. And we can click this icon and give it a color. So I'll just make them gray for now, just so it's easier to see. And then we'll use this tool right here. It's called the edit curvature, not curve point. That tool kind of messes up your curve. So use the edit curvature tool. That works really well. And this right here, this is the profile of the crotch. So if you look from the side on your character, that's what we're making here. Now we'll pull this out a little bit like this, and then this in. I'm going to make adjustments. So once you kind of do this type of adjustment, we can then use the edit pattern tool and you'll get tangent lines. See these tangents? So, and when you click on a point, you'll see the tangents around it. So we can start making adjustments. So if I click here, there's our tangent there. So I can move that down over here. I click this point, you can see the tangent appears there. And the kind of shape that I want on this side will look like this. So I want the pants to bunch up at the ankle. So that's why I'm making it like this. And this all can be adjusted later. You don't have to make it perfect now. Now this shape, I want it to go in to be tight around the thigh. So I want to add a point in here. So you right click on the curve and then click split. And if you set this to uniform split, you just leave it at 2 and click OK. So we get a point here and we have this tangent line. So we can just take this and I just move it in like that. and then use this to the hip, and that. That should be okay. Right. Now we need to make the other side, right? So right now we only have one side of the pant. So I'm just gonna move it in a little. If I right click on this and then click clone pattern with sewing, which is Control D, I can just hold Shift and let go right here, and you'll see it on this side. This is the back. The front will have a pocket. All right, so let's select them both, and you would just left click once, and then we can rotate like that and place behind. There. All right, I can move these over back here. So just select this transform tool, hold Shift, just move it over. Now let's make the front of the pant, and we can try and make it from this one. So if I just Control C and then Control V, it's not going to have symmetry. It's just a regular pant. I'm going to rotate it this way and just place it in the front like that. And it's going to be similar to the back. I just need to cut out the pocket. And what we can do for that is just cut it out. It's going to be like right here. So we'll use the internal line, polygon line. And if I click here, you have to double click to end the curve. So if you mess up, hit delete and then redo it. We need the edit curvature tool. We can curve this down like that. And then use the edit pattern tool again to adjust our curves here. And then we can click on this curve, click cut, and that will cut the pocket out. And then we can just delete this shape. So this is the shape we just made for the pocket. Now we need the pocket insert, right? So the way it works is that you have the shape that we just cut out is still there, but it goes in larger like this. So let's just make one out of a polygon. So we'll just click here. It's going to be a little larger than that, and we're just going to make a triangle like this. Close this off, and then use the edit curvature tool. Pull this out like that. And the way this is going to work, it's going to sit right here behind. Okay? So if I select both of these now, and right click and do symmetric pattern with sewing, place it on this side. Select them all, just move it over to the center. Move this over. Then take this pocket. We're gonna just kind of move this one here, up, and then this one here. Then up. Now we need to set up layering. So because the pocket's gonna be inside, right? That means it's going to go under. So if I select this pocket here and this one, on the right here, you can see there's a layer. Set that to, that's going to be layer 0. And then the pants on top are going to be layer 1. And I'm going to select these to be layer 1 so they're on the same level as the rest of the pant. So the pocket's going to be behind the pants. Now we just stitch them all together. And it's pretty straightforward. We're going to use this tool right here. Looks like a sewing machine. Click segment sewing. So this stitches here like that, and then this stitches here. That's in the back, and then this part will stitch here. It's reversed, so we need to stitch it to the other side. There's just undo and then redo, and then this side. So this is a little complicated, the way we're going to do that section up here, because we have the pocket here. So what I need to do is actually split this pocket so we have a point to kind of attach to. So I'll show you what I mean. So if we go in here, use the edit sewing, and I'm going to just click here and then do a split, just to add a point there. Click OK. It should add one on the other side as well. Okay. Now this point we can actually bring up to there. I think it might be better just to bring this up to the same level and then just adjust this so it kind of fills that space. The size here doesn't matter. This is just to fill the space inside. So what this means is that this section and this one need to connect. So what we can do is stitch it using the M to N sewing. Let's see if this works for us. Nope, that's not one. We want free sewing. So if I click here, click there, hit enter, and then click here, and you can see it's going to show us a point where that connects, and hit enter. So now you can see what's happening here. This is stitched that way, right? And then we can now do M to N free sewing, because we need to stitch this outer edge, this section here, to this pocket and this section here. So it's a little tricky to do it, but we need the M to N free sewing like that. And what you do is you click here and drag, hit enter. Then you can click here and drag, and then here and drag, and then hit enter. And that should make our connection. So I did it to the wrong side, of course, again. So we just undo that and repeat. So click here to there, hit enter. And then from here to there, and then here to there, hit enter. There we go. That should be it. So if we sim right now, the pants can collapse or just get really messed up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click them, and I'm going to try and align them closer to the body. Marvelous has a way to like drape clothes onto the shape of the body, and it works pretty well. It just takes a little time to set up, and it's really useful when you're making a lot of clothes. I'm just making pants and a shirt, so I really don't want to spend the time to set this up. So I'm just gonna line it up like this. It works fine doing this way as well. That, and then line this up as well. So you want to get as close to the body as possible without like penetrating the body, like that. Now let's run this in. So you just press this button, just click it once, and there it is. And this is what I mean, if you don't line it up exactly, this happens. So, but that's easy to fix. So we just fixed it right there. All right, so the pants are mostly done, and you can see it's actually fine. Here's the pocket, and it works, it's working okay. But what's happening here is that our pants aren't big enough, right? So the issue we're having is the pockets popping out. We can also add some lines to stitch to inside. So we'll adjust that as well. So let's add some scale to this. Once everything's stitched, you don't have to worry about the scale of things because the stitch will stay. So what I want to do here is just select this and move it over to give it more space. Like that. And then we'll take this shape here, just move it over. And then here, I want to adjust this curvature to give it more space there. And then we can do the same here. If I take this point, move it over, that'll give us more space. And also what we can do is we can raise the height of the pants seam here. So if I select these and then click this, because there's symmetry, I only need to select this much. Just gonna hold shift and move that up. Then if you hit the sim again, that's what happens. All right, so it's actually looking better. It looks like we have space. We probably need to, no, there might be too much, so we'll make them tighter. But what I want to do is I want to make the pocket stick inside. So I can add a line right here and stitch to that line. And we can do that with an internal line. So if I add an internal line right here and drop it down, let's do it at an angle. Like, just straight down is fine. Oh, I forgot to double click. So just double click like that. And then right here, I can't really tell where that line is, but it's right there. See, so I'm just gonna, it doesn't have to be perfect. I can just remember where that is. There we go. So we just added that line. And what this line, oops, I don't know where I clicked there. What this line will let us do is use just segment sewing and stitch from here to here. Oh, actually, we messed that up. I put it in the wrong place. We need to stitch this edge to this line. So let's undo that. So we don't need this line actually. I can delete that. We want this line to stitch here. So we can use freestyling. So click here, like that, enter, and then like this, and that should be it. There we go. So that will keep those connected. So if we run this in, yeah, see how that pulled that in? Now, the other thing I need to do is fix this pocket not fitting properly. And there's something we can do here with a pin. So there's a pin right here. It's a tack actually. So let's find this tack. Where is it? Where's the icon? Here it is. So we're going to tack on avatar. When you click tack on avatar, I can click here. Let's see, why is it? Okay, so I can click here and then on the avatar there. I think I missed somewhere, so let's try that again. So we'll delete it. Just click here and then there. Now, this pin is going to be somewhere on the avatar there. Let's just hit apply. There it is. So it just kind of pulled it in, right? Which is nice. If you click transparent, you can see where it's attaching. And that pin is just temporary. I just did it just to move everything over. Now I can go back to the tack. Here it is. And then click edit tack, select it, and delete it. That's it. And run this in again. But we can also kind of adjust this, just move it over like this. Whoops. There we go. All right, now let's pull the pants up. You can see where they are sitting. It's not exactly right. I'm gonna pull these up. I want them to scrunch. We can turn off, or set this back to thick like that. And then get the scrunchy material down. We'll pull these down a little bit. Okay. Now we're also not getting enough resolution here, so let's add some. It's pretty easy to do. We'll just go into select all of our geometry here, and then right here for particle distance, the larger the distance, the higher the resolution. So it's the distance between the vertices. So if I select it, so actually let's look at it so we can see what the resolution looks like. You can see it's pretty low res. We need more. So I'm going to set this to 10, hit enter, and that should give us more resolution. Run this in again. There we go. This pocket got messed up again. So we'll just, there we go. Whoops. Want to make sure to pull here. There we go. All right. Set this back to thick shaded surface. So the next thing I want to do is I want to add, I want this to be more form-fitting. And what I can do is add some lines here that we can add some elasticity. So let me check 1 second. So let's do that quickly. So in the back, I'm going to use the internal polygon line, and I'm just going to draw a line sticking to the surface like this and just pull it out like that. Oops, forgot to double click. All right, and then we'll use kind of curvature just to curve it like that. And then from the front, we'll do the same, but make it slightly different. So I'm going to use the internal polygon line again, and then just place it like here, and use edit curvature. Once I use the edit curvature, I can then go to edit pattern and adjust these tangent lines to make this shape like that. All right, so that's done. Now if I select them, select this one too, make sure I'm selecting just the line, we can turn on elastic. And if we sim it, it's gonna pull the fabric in like that. And it's a little too much right now, so we'll do a ratio like 90. That should be good. And we still need to pull up the, when we actually added too much fabric now when we expanded the pants. So I'm gonna just shrink it a little bit. And I think we need to shrink it in the back slightly. So I'll pull this in. And also here as well. So we'll just select both of these lines and then move them over. And this is a little wide. Yeah, let's bring this in. All right, let's form this in. There we go. We'll pull this up. All right, that's looking pretty good. I think we can actually push this in a little more at the top here. And bring this in a little. Get it tighter. Okay, there we go. All right, so that's looking pretty good. The next step is to make the shirt. We'll make the shirt in the next video. Please hit the like button, leave a comment, and I'll see you guys next time.